Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about low porosity versus high porosity hair. Knowing this is important in how you take care of your hair, because whether you're low or high porosity makes a big difference on what kind of products you use in your hair, what kind of oils you use in your hair, and how you kind of take care of your hair all together. It really does make a difference. So I'm just going to give you the difference, like the definition of what low porosity, high porosity is, what different products are good, what type of products I should say are good for each hair type, as well as a trick to figure out if you are low or high porosity or have low or high porosity hair. So right now I just would like you to take one moment of your day to subscribe to my channel. I don't know where the button is. I think it's over here. So take a moment and subscribe and become a part of the Kinky Girl Talk family. We'd love to see you here. Be sure to like this video, comment, share, and most of all, again, subscribe to my channel. And we're going to get right into it. I'm going to start with low porosity hair first, and I actually have low porosity hair. And if I'm looking down, y'all, I got notes. I had to do some research, let y'all know what's right and what's not. So low porosity hair is porosity, of course, let me back up. Porosity is how well your hair can absorb moisture, and whether you have low or high really will determine what products best work for your hair. All right, so low porosity means low porosity hair does not absorb moisture easily. The strands are closed, the cuticles in your strands are closed, and it's hard for moisture to penetrate through your strands. So here are some signs to kind of determine if you have low porosity hair. Water just sits on your hair. Product often sits on your hair, and you have often product buildup. It takes a very long time for your hair to dry. If you're air drying, it takes a long time for your hair to dry. Your hair doesn't observe. Lord Jesus, how your hair gonna see? It takes a long time for your hair, or your hair does not absorb or take color, and it takes time for your hair to get fully like soaking wet. So for low porosity, I found that ways to help take care of your low porosity hair is to use heat, because just like your skin, how you put hot water on your skin when you're washing your face, or even just your body period, hot water, the heat opens up your pores. Well, it will do the same thing for your hair. So it will open up your cuticles in your hair, your strands, so you can get that water and that moisture in. So it will help that you deep condition with if you do deep condition underneath a dryer. If you do oil treatments, make sure they're hot oil treatments. If you're doing if you're washing your hair with hot warm water, just so your hair can absorb the products. So like for me, I wash my hair in warm to hot water. I don't want it like scalding hot, of course, but I wash my hair in warm to hot water, and then as of course I wash my hair first before I start to take my shower, like, and wash my body. So while my hair is conditioning, of course the steam is getting into there and all that other stuff, and then I rinse my conditioner out with cold water, because cold water is going to actually close up those pores. So then all the moisture has already seeped down in there, and you just want to rinse that out. So once you're rinsing it out, close up those pores, you good, sis, you good. So that's what I do personally whenever I wash my hair. You want to also use light products, so light oils, light leave-in conditioners, light stylers. So excuse me, I found that, and I've been using this lately because once I found that out, I started to use it, and it really does make a difference in how moisturized my hair is. So almond oil is a really good light oil to use, and argan oil and grapeseed oil. I've used argan oil a long time ago, like, y'all, it's gonna be 4 years on July 1st next week. Well, actually, that's Sunday. It'll be July 1st, y'all, since I'll be 4 years natural. But back to that. I've used argan oil like 4 years. That was probably around the last time I've used it, like 3 or 4 years ago when I was first with natural, and I didn't think too much of it. So I probably will revisit that one again, and I am going to purchase some grapeseed oil this weekend because I want to use that. I have here that grapeseed oil is good for strengthening hair. It's a good heat protectant and a sealant, and almond oil is good for is a good sealant as well, and it's good for doing your pre-poo treatments. It really does soak into your hair. Oh my god, that stuff is amazing, y'all. If you watched my last video, not my last video, but my last pre-pooing video, I did use almond oil. I mixed like some essential oils in the almond oil, but that was my the base oil that I used, the carrier oil, and it was amazing. And then you have argan oil, which aids growth, increases elasticity, which prevents breakage in your hair. And you can also use jojoba oil, which is a light oil that combats dry scalp and dandruff. So those are just some little things that I wrote down for different oils that are really good for low porosity hair. And with low porosity hair, it is beneficial that you do a very good deep clean every once in a while. I haven't done it yet, and I'm eager to try it. So like doing your apple cider vinegar washes, or like the clay washes, the Aztec healing clay, those type of washes that are really deep cleansing to get all of the product build up off of the hair. Those are really good for low porosity hair. I haven't tried it yet. I want to, probably will in the next month or so. So look out for that. All right, high porosity hair does absorb the moisture, but it has a problem with retaining the moisture. So although you get the moisture in initially, it's easier for it to come out, because starting off, the very opposite of course, low porosity, high porosity hair, the cuticles are open. So it's easier for the hair to absorb the moisture, but also it's easier for the hair to lose that same moisture as well. So if you I hear a lot of people say that they put stuff in their hair and it dries up really quickly. That may be because you have high porosity hair. Your hair is able to absorb it, and you're fine, you're good, and then like 30 minutes later or however long later, your hair is dry again. That's because you have high porosity hair. So some characteristics on how to, that was one of the characteristics of how to determine if you have high porosity hair, is your hair tends to be frizzy. Your hair tends to feel dull and dry. Your hair easily tangles, and your hair dries rather quickly. So again, like I said, it takes in the moisture, but it really dries it all up like that. For high porosity hair, you want to use heavier products on your hair. Oh, backtrack. because I didn't say this, and I'm going to say it for high porosity. I want to say it for low porosity. For low porosity hair, you want to apply your products while your hair is wet, not soaking wet, but while your hair is wet, you want to apply your products. So you want to apply your oils and your leave-ins and your stylers while your hair is wet. Not, oh, I just got finished washing my hair. Like, I never, ever, ever apply my product right out the shower. Right out after I wash my hair, I come in my room, my hair is in a towel, and I might sit for maybe 30 minutes before I start to style and put all my products in my hair. You don't have to sit for 30 minutes. I'm not saying that you don't have to sit for a allotted amount of time, but I don't put product on my hair when my hair is soaking wet. I let it dry down a little bit before I start. My hair is still damp and it's still wet. I just let it dry down a little bit, just so, because if I apply it while it's soaking wet, my hair will not be dry in the morning. Prime example, I did my hair Sunday night, and I did my hair Sunday night, and I did small twists. Mind you, I did small twists, and I said I need to dry for about an hour just so it can dry down some. And then, of course, the next morning while I wake up for work and get ready for work, my hair is still wet. My hair was predominantly still wet. I'm taking down my twist and I'm like, oh my God, my hair is still wet. And I was kind of upset that it was still wet, because I wanted my hair to be more defined, more so than like this. I did get rained on yesterday, so that's another reason why my hair is not as defined. But I wanted my hair to be a little bit more defined, which is why I did the smaller twists. So with the wet hair, of course, it frizzes up. I'm in Florida. It's humid. It's hot. Fuzzball. I mean, it is what it is. So make sure, for low porosity girls, that you are not applying products with soaking wet hair, because I promise you, you're going to be mad, because your hair will never... You already know the struggle about how long it takes for your hair to dry. So keep that in mind. So back to high porosity. For high porosity, like I said, you want to start to use heavier products on your hair, and you want to layer on those products. So your leave-ins, you want to layer on your leave-in, your oils, moisturizers, whatever it is you gotta do, layer it on. You want to layer in your products. Also, with high porosity hair, you want to apply these products when your hair is soaking wet, because of course your follicles are open. I'm sorry, not your follicles. Oh, excuse me. Your hair, your strands, the cuticles in your hair are open, and you want to retain as much moisture as you can. So when your hair is soaking wet, it's getting in there. So for the best kind of products for high porosity are creams, heavy creams, and heavy butters. As much as I love the Cream of Nature Pure Honey, their leave-in and their conditioner and their curl cream is great for my hair, because honey is good for low porosity hair. I think it's honestly good for all kind of hair, but whatever. But the thickness of those products will do really, really well with someone who has high porosity. Those products are thick, girl. If you've ever used it, you know it's thick, girl. So I would recommend those products, those type of products for high porosity. And I want to say that Shea Moisture has a line that's specifically for low porosity hair and high porosity hair. I've not tried those out. Well, that one out for low porosity hair. I did see a video, a tutorial on it, and I think that kind of made me stay away from it, but I might try it out for myself. But I do know that they do have specific lines for low and high porosity. I'm not sure what other products have those type of product lines that's specifically for low and high porosity hair. I'll do some research and link that stuff in the description box below, so you all can know, because that kind of makes it easier. It kind of takes the the guessing out of it of trying to find products that's really good for your hair type. So also for high porosity hair, you want to let your hair air dry. A lot of heat for your hair will not be good because, again, like I said, heat does open up your cuticles to allow the products and your moisture to come into your strands. But with high porosity hair, your cuticles are already open, so it's no need to open them up some more. So heat, you might want to stay away from doing like heated conditioners, heated hot oil treatments, things like that. You want to rinse with cold water whenever you're doing your hair. Like I said, wash with hot water, get your cuticles open, get that moisture in, and rinse out with cold water. I think that's a good technique for both high porosity and low porosity hair. So some oils that are good for high porosity hair: coconut oil, because these are heavier oils. Coconut oil, jojoba oil was good for low and high porosity hair. So look at you. Olive oil, castor oil, and hemp seed oil are all other different oils that are good for high porosity hair. So I hope that tidbit of information was helpful to somebody, because it was definitely helpful to me when I found out. When I read up on it, a while back when I was, first natural. I've done a lot of research since I've been natural, and still am doing research for my own purposes and for the purposes of this channel, not to, spread misinformation about natural hair. I think you can take care of your natural hair better the more educated you are about your hair, instead of just trial and error, which natural hair kind of like trial and error. But I mean, if you're more educated on what type of hair you have and different products that's out there and what's good, what's bad, I think you have a better chance at getting whatever results for your hair, whether it's to just get your hair natural, whether it's to get your hair healthy, or whether it's to get your hair, or to, get some inches on there, girl. So I encourage everybody to do your research, do more research on whatever type of porosity hair that you have. I've definitely been looking up different products and different oils and stuff to use on my hair as a low porosity girl, because I just want to know. I want to be in the know and make sure I'm making the correct and right decisions for my hair, different techniques and things of that nature that I want to know for myself, as well as to share with you all. So, girl, this is how you test out to see what you got, girl. To see whether or not you have high porosity hair or low porosity hair. So there are 3 different tests that I've read about that you can do to determine whether your hair is high or low. Of course, I've read off some of the characteristics of low porosity hair and high porosity hair, and if your hair exhibit those characteristics, then there's a possibility that you may have that type of hair. But just to be sure, if you just want to do a test, girl, here's something that you can do. Somebody calling me. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that. But here's some tests you can do to make sure to figure out whether you have low or high porosity hair. So you have the cup test, and what you want to do is fill your cup up with some water, girl. Ain't gotta be a whole lot. I said enough so you can determine if your hair gonna float or not. But yeah, what you want to do is get a strand of clean hair. So my hair right now is not clean. Get you a strand of clean hair and put it in the water and let it sit. And I think after 5 minutes, you're supposed to come back and look at it. And if your hair is low porosity, your hair will be floating because your cuticles are closed. It's not absorbing the water. So you'll have, if it's floating, it's low. If it's sinking, it's high. That means the hair has absorbed the water and it has sunk down to the bottom of the cup. Now, if it's somewhere in the middle, then you have normal porosity hair. And I don't have any any real information about normal porosity. I guess normal porosity means your hair is just normal. You just take care of it as you know, just normally. If anybody would like to have more information on that, just let me know in the comments. I can definitely do research because I like doing that type of stuff, girl. So yeah, so if it's floating at the top, it's low porosity hair. If it sinks down to the bottom, it is high porosity hair. And if it's floating in the middle, girl, your hair is normal. Okay, so you can also do a spray test. So with the spray test, it didn't clarify whether you should have clean hair, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that your hair should be clean. And or even when you're just washing your hair anyway, if the beads of water, or you can spray it, take a section of hair and spray your hair. If the hair, if the water is beaded up on your hair, then you have low porosity hair. If the water instantly, if the water instantly absorbs into your hair, then you have high porosity hair. So again, for the spray test, you take a section of hair, you spray it with water. If the water just sits on top of your hair, you see beads of water, then you have low porosity hair. If it instantly absorbs into your hair, then you have high porosity hair. And then you can do a strand test. So with the strand test, what you want to do, I believe you do this on clean hair as well. You take a strand of hair. I can kind of demonstrate this one for you because I don't need any type of water or anything like that. So I can demonstrate this one for you all. So you take a strand of hair. I don't know if y'all can see my strand. And what you want to do is run your fingers up to the root. So if your hair, if you feel that it's smooth, then you have low porosity hair. But if you feel a lot of ridges going up, then you have high porosity hair, because you'll feel those cuticles open. So mine is smooth, so that's low. And for the girls who have high, you'll feel ridges going up the hair shaft. So I hope this video was extremely helpful for you all. Like I said before, it's extremely beneficial to know your porosity level, because it will help you take care of your hair. You know, you understand your hair a little bit more, so you can understand, so you can get the right products and use the right things. You know, everybody always says, oh, well, what works for me might not work for you, and that very well may be true, and it has nothing to do with, you know, genetics or anything, or whatever else we want to say. It really does determine, or it really does have to do with low and high porosity hair. Some of the things that girls with high porosity hair use, I probably wouldn't necessarily use those things, because it just would make my hair heavy and I have a lot of product buildup, and you just don't want all that. And some of the things that I use, a girl with high porosity will not be able to use, because I'm using lighter products and their hair will zap that stuff right on up. Okay, so I hope this was very helpful to you all, as it was helpful to me, as I was researching it and starting to use some of the things that that was recommended, and started to do some of the things that were recommended as well. Please put a comment below whether you are high or low porosity, and if you've already known that information about your hair, what are some things that you use on your hair, whether you're low or high. What oils, what products do you use on your hair to help maintain your hair and help to keep it healthy and keep it growing, girl? Let us know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and share this video with all your family and friends. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, so you can be in the tea of it all, in the know of it all, with all the Kiki Girl talk that we are going to be having. I hope you enjoyed it again. I can't say that enough. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms.